Welcome to the guide on how to use the Artist Data Entry Program. The Artist Data Entry Program, also known as ADE, is a web application for the members of the Handweavers Guild of Boulder to manage their inventory for the HGB Fiber Art Show and Sale. If you wish to participate in the show and sale, you will need to add your inventory into the Artist Data Entry Program and print your barcode labels from this program. What is required for the Artist Data Entry Program? Since this is a web application, a web browser is required. The Artist Data Entry Program has been tested with both Chrome and Firefox. Some things to keep in mind for the most trouble-free experience. Use the tested browsers. Other browsers like Safari and Edge may work, but if you start having problems, we will require that you use a tested browser. Make sure that you're using the latest version of your chosen browser. JavaScript and cookies need to be turned on for the site to function. Add-ons can sometimes interfere with the site, so you may need to turn them off. And finally, we recommend, but not require, that you have Adobe Reader. We have found that printing labels from Adobe Reader gives you more control over printing, resulting in fewer problems and headaches. The whole process starts July 1st when the activation emails are sent out. This email contains links to a lot of information about the show and sale. It will also include the information you will need for accessing the Artist Data Entry Program. We ask you to save the email so you have this information when you are ready to use it. There are two pieces of information that you will need. 1. The link to the Artist Data Entry Program. 2. Your PIN ID and your password. If you pay your dues after July 1st, you will receive your activation email 1 to 2 weeks later. Now that you have your PIN and password, you are ready to access the Artist Data Entry Program. To access the Artist Data Entry Program, open your browser and enter handweavers.info/artists in the address box. This will bring you to the login page where you enter in your PIN and password. Click on the login button to continue. The first page you come to after logging in is the home page. This page contains the information that was provided by membership to the Artist Data Entry Program, and it shows that your account has been activated. If your account has not been activated, contact us at salehelp@handweaversofboulder.org. Something else we would like to point out, on each page is a Help tab. You can click on it to get help for that page. The home page is where you can change your password. To change a password, click on the Change Password button. Enter your new password and click on the Save button. We recommend that you pick a decent password. Make it at least 12 characters long. Use at least one number, a lowercase character and an uppercase character. And use a password that is unique to this site. Do not reuse a password that you've used on another site. We're now ready to add items. Click on the Add Item link at the top of the page. There are two types of inventory, regular inventory and showcase inventory. We will show you how to add both. All items that will be in the sale, but not entered into the showcase, are considered to be regular inventory. Make sure that you have selected the Regular Item tab. If you select a quantity that is greater than 1, the Artist Data Entry Program will create multiple labels with the same information, but each will have a unique inventory number. You will need to pick a classification and a technique for your item. There is a list for both in the rules and regulations. In 33 characters or less, describe what the item looks like. Enter in your price. You need to charge at least $1. You can also have a decimal like $4.99. If you have any items that you would like to donate to the Strickler Scholarship Fund, add those items here and check Donate Item to Strickler. You will print and attach tags to these items in the same manner as regular items, but they will not count towards the number of shifts you require. When you are done, click on the Save Item button. When you click on the Save Item button, you will see the inventory number assigned to your item. If your quantity is more than 5, you will see a message that X number of items have been added. We would like to expand on the label description for a moment. The most important purpose of the description is to reunite a tag with the item if they are separated. If the item and tag cannot be reunited, the item will be taken out of the sale. The quicker they are matched, the quicker your item returns to the sale. Color is very useful. In a multicolored item, there may be too many, so pick a couple predominant ones like red or blue multi. Pick color names that most people will recognize. Include the technique or classification if the chosen values are not descriptive enough. Be careful of abbreviations. Don't use them unless you need to, as they can make it hard to understand the label. Also be careful with terminology that is specific to your technique. The goal is to have the average volunteer understand and match a tag to the item. Do not put care and content in the description. Because 1, it does not satisfy the guild's requirements for you to be in the sale. Your item won't be accepted at check-in. 2, 33 characters do not provide enough space to properly inform our customers. And it may not satisfy the FTC requirements for labeling. 3, it doesn't help reunite the tag with the item. Care and content can be put on the back of your barcode tag or on a separate tag. See the rules and regulations for more details. And having said that, you can use descriptors like cotton, wool, etc. to describe your item. Next we are covering how to add a showcase item. Before adding showcase items in the Artist Data Entry program, you must first submit your item for approval and be accepted into the showcase. When you have received your notification of acceptance, you will then need to add the item to the Artist Data Entry program. Click on the Showcase Item tab. You will not need to add a classification, but you will need to select a technique. See the rules and regulations for a list of techniques. The description allows a maximum of 33 characters. You can describe your piece, or if you've titled the piece for the showcase, you can use that title. Price can be $0 to indicate that the showcase item is not for sale. Whatever price you decide on, make sure that it matches the one that you provided to the showcase coordinator. Your acceptance letter will contain the password that you need here. Click on the Save Item button to add your item. After you have entered your items, you are ready to view and edit them. To see the inventory you added and to manage your inventory, click on the Inventory Navigation link. Under the Inventory Page tab, you'll see the items that you've already added. The most recent additions are at the top of that list. Showcase items and Strickler items are identified in the Type column. There are many ways you can view your inventory on this page. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the total number of items you've added so far. You can also page forward and back through the pages. If you'd like to change the number of items you see on a page, you can return to the top of the page. Click on the Show Entries drop-down to select a different number. This will change the number of items per page and will affect the number of pages. You can click on any of these column headers to sort by the selected column. For example, if you wanted to see all of your classifications grouped together, you can click on the header and sort by that column. If you click on it again, it will reverse the sort. There is a small indicator in the header to show which column is sorted and if the order is ascending or descending. And finally, you can use the search box to filter the items shown. This is probably the most efficient way to find an item. You can put in any sort of keywords. Enter green bead if you want to find all of the descriptions that contain both green and bead. This search is across all of the columns, so you can search for a specific classification like kitchen item, or to find all of your Strickler items. You can also put in any inventory number. To show all of your items, clear the box. To edit an item, you will need to find the item using any of the methods I just covered. In this case, I am going to look it up by its description. Using the search box is very useful if you use the quantity option to add multiple tags and want to change the description for each one. To edit the item, click on the inventory ID. It will bring up the dialog box where you can make the changes. Click on the Save Item button. At any time, you can find out how many shifts you need by clicking on the Shift Estimates tab. This is based on the current inventory and is an estimate. Actual shifts required will be calculated based on the inventory brought to the show and sale. Check the rules and regulations for the most current information on how shifts are calculated. Next, we will cover deleting items. To delete items, you will need to click the inventory link and click on the Delete Items page tab. Deleting items is permanent. It cannot be undone, so be very careful of what you do on this page. To delete your items is simple. Put a check by all of the items that you want to delete. You will notice to the right of the button, it will tell you how many items you have selected. To delete all items, click on the All checkbox in the column header. This will select all your items. If you want to clear all the checks, you can uncheck this box. If you only selected a few items and you want to clear them, check the All box and then uncheck it to clear everything. You can use a search box to filter your items. For example, if you decided to delete all of your woven flower pins, you will filter the list by woven flower pin. And then put a check by all the items that you want to delete. You don't want to check the All check box here because that will select everything in your inventory, including items that aren't shown. Once an item is checked, it will stay checked until you uncheck it. Even though you can't see the item, it is still checked. If you decide to go look at your hand towels, you will notice that there are still 4 items selected. You can select some additional items. If you click on the Delete Items button while the list is filtered, you will get this message. What it is telling you is that the search box will be cleared and that you should verify items before deleting. When you click on the Delete Items button, you will get this message to verify that you do want to delete these items. If you're not sure, click on the Cancel button. Otherwise, click on the Delete button and your items will be permanently deleted from your inventory. To prepare for the show and sale, you will need to print out the inventory sheet and the labels for tagging your items. There are two methods for printing from the Artist Data Entry program. The first is to create a PDF, which will then be used to print to your local printer. You will need to supply your own paper and label supplies. The second is to send your print request to the Guild printer. The Guild printer will print the items and mail them to you. This can take 1 to 2 weeks turnaround. The inventory sheet is a listing of everything you are checking into the show and sale. It consists of 3 parts. The first page is a checklist. Look over the checklist to see if you're ready for check-in. The following pages contain a description for each item that you're planning to bring. Finally, at the bottom of the last page, you will see a summary which has the number of items broken down by type, the total value by type, and the estimated number of shifts that you need to sign up for. The information used to calculate shifts are included here. When you are ready to print, you will click on the inventory link and select the Printing Options page tab. As on the Delete Items tab, the first thing you will do is to select the items you want to print. This page works exactly the same. The All check box in the header will select everything. The total number of items selected is up by the Submit button. And you can filter the list by putting something in the search box. And as on the Deleted Items tab, if you click on the Submit button while the list is filtered, you will get a message informing you that the search box will be cleared and that you should review selections before clicking on the Submit button again. After you've selected your items, under the Select Print options, select Create Printer Friendly Inventory Sheet, PDF, and then click on the Submit button. This will open up a new browser tab with the Inventory Sheet PDF. When printing, make sure that you have included all pages that have inventory at the bottom. Check-in requires you have these pages. Advisory pages are not required at check-in. The inventory sheet can be printed directly from the browser as the margins do not need to be as exact as the labels. Each browser has its own method for printing PDF documents. So you may need to do something different from what I'm about to show you. To print in Firefox, bring your cursor to the top of the page. You will see a menu drop down. Click on the printer icon. Select a printer, and if your printer supports it, you can choose two-sided printing. Click on the Print button. This is what your label will look like when you print it. At the top, you will see your member PIN and name. Below that you'll see the inventory ID, the item description, the item price, the barcode, the technique number and description, and classification number and description. There are 3 options that you can choose from when printing labels locally. Option 1 is 1 inch by 2 5/8 inch address labels. These are pre-cut labels that are 30 per page. Option 2 is a 8 1/2 inch by 11 full sheet label. This is a full sheet label where you will cut your labels apart and there are lines between the labels to guide you. You can also use plain white paper with this option. Options 1 and 2 must be securely pasted to a 2 inch by 3 1/2 inch business card before attaching the tags to your items. The label should be white. Do not cut labels into pieces in an attempt to make them fit on a custom card. Do not fold the labels. And do not cover the barcode with tape, as this will interfere with the scanning of the barcode. Option 3 is to print directly to a perforated sheet of 2" by 3.5" business cards. The rules and regulations have the Avery numbers for these sizes. Store brands will usually list an Avery number that they are compatible with. To print your labels, you will go to the Printing Options tab and select your items. Then you will select Create Printer-Friendly Labels PDF for the print option. The next thing you will do is to select your label type. In this example, we will select the full sheet labels. After that, you will click on the Submit button, which will then open your PDF into a new browser tab. We recommend downloading the file and use Adobe Acrobat Reader to print it. As with printing, each browser has its own method for downloading PDF documents. So you may need to do something different from what I'm about to show you. To download the PDF in Firefox, bring your cursor to the top of the page. You'll see a download icon on that menu. Click on that and it will show a dialog for you to save it to your computer. Printing from Acrobat Reader gives you the most control over aligning the labels to the label sheets. This is very important if you are selecting the label option of 1" by 2.5" address labels. After you've downloaded your file from your browser, you will need to open up the file in Adobe Acrobat Reader. To print, you can click on the print icon in the toolbar. If you do not see the toolbar, you can access printing from the file option on the main menu. For printing labels, these settings are the ones that we've had the most success with. If you're having problems with the labels not lining up, check the manual for your printer to see if there are any special settings that you need to use. Depending on your printer, you may not have all of these options. If your printer has the Print in Grayscale option, or a black and white option, or the Saving Toner option, turn these options off. They can create barcodes that won't scan. Underneath Page Sizing, select Actual Size and choose Paper Source by PDF Page Size. Note the PDF was created for standard letter size paper, which is 8.5 by 11". You can now click on the Print button. It is a good idea to first print the page to plain paper and hold it up to your label page to see if everything is aligned. As I've mentioned before, the Guild offers a service where a team member of the Sale Technology team prints the inventory sheet and labels for those members not able to print these for themselves. The Guild does not charge for this, but a small donation is always welcome. To request Guild printing for an inventory sheet, go to the Inventory Printing options. Select the items you want to include, then select Send Requests to Guild for inventory sheet printing as the print option. You will then click on the Submit button. You will see a message that a print request has been sent. This message also includes a request number. This request number is useful if you need to discuss a particular request with the Guild printer. To request Guild printing for labels, select the items you want to include and then you will select the print option, Send Requests to Guild for Labels Printing. Click on the Submit button. Like the inventory sheet, there will be a unique request number you can use if you need to communicate to the Guild printer. When you get your labels, you will see that they are a single column strip of labels, unlike the sheets that are used for local printing. but like those labels you will need to securely paste them to a 2" by 3.5" business card. There are 2 more activities to cover: logging out and requesting a password reset. When you are finished, you can log out from the Artist Data Entry program from any page by clicking on the Logout link at the top of the page. The last topic to cover is what you can do if you've forgotten your password. Go to the login page and click on the Forgot Password button. There you will enter in your PIN and click on the Submit button. An email will be sent to the email address that is in the Artist Data Entry program. This email will include a new password which you can use to log into the site. If you do not see the email right away, check your spam folder. If you are still having problems, you can contact us at salehelp@handweaversofboulder.org. This concludes the presentation. For more information you can visit the Handweavers Guild of Boulder homepage at handweaversofboulder.org. There you can find this presentation and a tutorial you can download. You can also contact us through salehelp@handweaversofboulder.org.